Welcome, dear Kai, to my Book of Light. You are a physical medium, well known, from Germany. Please introduce yourself. No one can do it better than you.
Oh, yes. I mean, since my days of youth, I am facilitating spirituality in a specific way and form. It's the form of spiritual or spirituality manifesting, and it's quite actually something ancient, but for many it is very new. Definitely, it is unique and interesting to be a part of. So yeah, that's me.
That's wonderful, that's wonderful. And there's a lot more to say, and most people know you, of course, all over the world.
I think so.
Not only here in Holland and in Germany.
Now I see.
Hello. So, you can see here maybe on the Zoom all the phones.
Oh, nice.
Kunnen jullie microfoon
Hey guys,
even uitdoen?
good
Dan kunnen
to
jullie
see
even
you.
dag zeggen. En dan zul je hem zo weer even aanzetten, bedoel ik. En dan kun je even dag zeggen.
Hi Kai.
Hey guys. Great to see you. Hello.
You see you all.
Yes, I can see you all.
We will start this evening with lighting the candles. A little bit different than before. It's a tradition that I having for every event since the 80s, 90s, something like that. And it's from Zora Bertrand Noah, a spiritual friend who is not living on earth anymore. But I like it. So, okay, let's open the evening, and we will close the evening by closing the candles.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first candle symbolize the oneness that we are in spirit. The second candle, we say in Dutch, is the light of consciousness. So we ask that the bell will ring, that we get more understanding of the first candle. That's wish is the second one. Het licht van het bewustzijn. And the last candle of the three is the candle of the love, because without love we can't understand anything about the spiritual world and ourselves. Let's see if he wants to burn. Yes. The opening prayer is a Sufi prayer from Terra Mystica Hazrat Inyat Khan. Okay. Towards the one, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all illuminated souls, who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Amen. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Very beautiful.
Thank you. So, it's about the first candle, about oneness, that we all are in spirit. And I saw you doing like this, so you're agreeing with that sentence, the oneness that we are in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's something, isn't it?
Yeah, oneness is a term. Our spirits are our communicating spirits that communicate in the seances. They are usually very regularly refer to the term oneness in regards to the space we come from and the space we go to.
Yes.
The oneness is basically the space from which everything starts and in which everything ends.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And at the same time, it is the space which is amassing, bringing in all the information that individual life is creating during its lifetimes. So this is a growing scheme, a growing body. And at the same time, this body is nurturing the individual life. So the individual life is definitely something that is in an evolutionary state, also from that term, or regarded from that term of oneness.
Yeah, that's true.
Oneness is growing as we are growing.
This is something that you're telling. Why is it
Yes.
growing?
Yeah, this is a connected process. This is a connected process, and the lives that will come in the future lives of people, they will be already enriched by things that generations before have walked through and have experienced, by what the oneness did grow by, and can in the future bring or inspire lives of future individuals.
Yes, and maybe also in the past with the ones who are connected.
Yeah.
So we
that
maybe
very
need
well maybe.
we need maybe each other to grow.
Oh yes, for sure.
Here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything we maybe solve in life or come over, we do maybe not only for ourselves, but also for the one who are here.
Yeah, but what you was just saying, I believe, is very important, because regularly our spirits remind us, because we regularly have true psychonauts as our guests. So people which are doing extensive voyages of the mind to find themselves, or to find redemption for themselves. And the spirits are regularly reminding us of the fact that actually for redemption, we human beings do not need to travel so far.
No.
Because the most basic form of redemption for us human beings in this earth life is actually facilitated by being with one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and within that, the most beautiful forms of redemption can be found when we human beings work in that family-related unconditional love thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. We can't find the redemption outside of ourselves, can we?
Yeah. Maybe there are forms of redemptions that can be found there too.
By example,
for us. Pardon?
Can you give an example of that? It can help, maybe.
Yeah, for example, imagine you find redemption in a state of a god-like state. You know, you can make powerful psychedelic experiences, for example, with ayahuasca or such substances, and these are very individual forms of redemption, and there are not necessarily people with you. So these are forms of redemption which are more externalized, let's say, and not so very much introducing or integrating this communion thing, this family-related.
The ayahuasca thing, I believe, is again of focusing on the parts of your thoughts and minds that you're not aware of during daytime, maybe, and you meet them there, and you have to conquer it in a way.
We had a floral bath today, went down there, nice little private, secluded little mini lake. We had a floral bath after the service at midday today, a floral bath near the lake there. it was very cleansing. My hair smells really nice now. And we had to pray to the east and the west, to the sun, you know, with the floral bath. I'm feeling very good at the moment. Like, it's how many days? 4 days now I've been in the jungle. My mind is starting to feel a lot clearer. My inside, my body is starting to feel just good. Like, yeah, I can't really, you know, put my finger on it where it is, but there's goodness. Like, nice singing, as usual, wicked weather, and yeah, just some nice aromatic kind of cleansing, which was, yeah, cool.
Esta parte, por ejemplo, para conectarnos y ayudar a las personas, utilizo los sicarios, ¿no? Los sicarios son en lenguas, diferentes lenguas, de acuerdo a la sabiduría, de acuerdo a la conexión que yo hago. Puede ser un problema de agua, puede ser un problema de monte, espíritus a veces en el monte y en las aguas. Existe también el mal y el bien. Entonces, el mal y el bien, entonces, lo que yo hago es conectarme a ellos, a la parte buena. Entonces, donde aquí utilizo los sicarios, ¿no? El sonido, los silbidos y los cánticos son de acuerdo a las personas, sus necesidades, sus propósitos. Estoy para ayudarles en este campo a conducirle mediante los sicarios, es para ayudar a conducirlo espiritualmente. Puede en la ceremonia, es que como yo soy un guía espiritual, es para llevarles y hacerles volver, porque entramos a un mundo, ¿no?, diferente, como se llama, niveles dimensionales, y a través de eso está, por ejemplo, el icaro de la boa negra. El icaro de la boa negra es como que la boa negra tiene un poder, que tiene un imán magneto, que es capaz de absorberte toda tu negatividad, todo lo malo, ayudar a sacarte de tu problema, de tus condiciones de vida, pero también darte salud. También hay otros cánticos, por ejemplo, que utilizando la madre naturaleza, por ejemplo, el cerro de Timbo María, existe.
And for that there can come redemption, of course, in certain ways. It's one of the ways, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
It's one of the ways, and not for everyone, I believe. But I can understand that people are looking in all kinds of ways. For certain reasons that they want to do this ayahuasca or other kinds of this.
I mean, these substances are naturally given to us. They are God-given by us. I mean, in shamanistical societies, they are called divine plants or plants of God. So there is something in them, and actually for the psychonaut, for the experiencer, for somebody who wants to explore consciousness, this is something.
Absolutely.
Right?
For some people it's something, like I believe not every plant of nature. If you take too much from a poisoning plant that we need, ingredients for the medicines, for the regular medicines.
Absolutely.
If we take too much, and for everybody it's difficult to find how much, It can
that's
do
true.
also
That's
harm.
true.
So
That's
be
true.
careful anyway. I would say to
The
people.
dose is deciding if it is a blessing or a toxin.
I believe, yeah, for sure, you're sure, yes. And I love all nature has given us. Only we need to
Yeah.
understand, get more understanding of the communication with this nature, to use it well and to get more understanding of each other also.
Absolutely. This can give you that can give you huge insights
Yeah,
about these relationships and so forth.
Absolutely.
I know that psilocybin, for example, was or is probably still used in a program at the University of somewhere in the United States, and they are using it for terminal cancer patients, for terminally ill, so people who know they will die in a few months or so.
Yeah.
And many of them have very much retreated from their families also. And they cannot deal with what is happening and what is coming up in the near future. And they are, in this program, they are giving medium doses of psilocybin to these patients. And the usual experience is that only one dose is needed to totally free the minds of these people. Firstly, in regards to their family, that they can reopen to their family, that they can reopen to their own feelings, and that the experience is teaching them a way how to deal with the fact that they will die very soon. They achieve an understanding of life and death during that session. That session that takes maybe 6 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours or something like that. This is usually the session. And so that shows us how powerful these substances can be when they are given in a controlled environment.
Okay.
And when they are pure and not coming from an illegal market, when you do not know what is in them. Is it the substance at all as what it is offered? You don't know when it is coming from the illegal market. So this is bad. This brings a lot of insecurities. So you should take only the substance when they are coming from a safe background and when they are given to you by only very experienced people.
Absolutely. You know, I'm a nurse, and I'm not working anymore as a nurse, but I worked, my specializing was especially people who are knowing that they are dying and to help them.
Interesting.
And so I have done a lot on that way as a manager in that kind of terminal care. So my belief is most of the time I saw people dying on a very natural, loving way. And
yes.
Sometimes it goes different. So if people are very much in a kind of pain, maybe what you're telling can help them. And I hope that the regular medicines, doctors and so on, will get more understanding of it, and if they know properly what to do, then I would say go for it. Otherwise, as a human and a nurse, I will say be careful, because it's your last minutes maybe, or your last day. So it's important that it will be full of
But usually
comfort.
this is not the case. I mean, usually you are very aware when you are using these substances, and you are not actually losing time like with alcohol. Alcohol is much more dangerous than these substances. But what I wanted to say in regards to a peaceful death, because this is a lot of this is very much discussed at the moment. Not necessarily at the moment. It comes again and again up in the TV and so forth. It's about the survival medicine of today, and how the survival medicine is luring you into this environment, and that actually survival medicine is in the end responsible that you are not dying peacefully, because you are put at an apparatus, or you are in a I don't know, in a chemo or something like that. So there are a lot of physicians, a lot of doctors who sit in the TV in discussion rounds and say their experience is, because it's such an exploiting business, it tries to exploit here actually facilitated by the pharma industry.
Absolutely, I agree totally.
Yeah.
So
this is a bad part of the story.
It's all kind of medicine. Always think for yourself if you can, and take also. But fear is not your best friend. So to get more understanding, will you help to get rid of fear, because in the times of need you need to come in trust, and to find a doctor or a therapist or a spiritual worker that you do truly trust.
Yeah.
This is what gives peace, is my experience, what I saw as people. And we're talking now about this heavy subject for a lot of people. But what I experienced was what is very important, that if you are in a situation that your mother or father or loved one or friend is in the last process of life or dying state, please speak to each other, communicate with your doctors, and if you can't find the right way with your doctor, find another one for your dying friend, and then you are rich if you can communicate like that, and then it will all be good, I believe.
Yeah, as long as these doctors are not paid by the pharma. And
so you need to choose your own doctor.
Exactly. The problem is that many people are not aware of this dark connection.
Absolutely,
right?
You're so right.
Yeah.
I can talk for hours about this, of course.
Yeah,
I believe you. And still there is a lot of fear, sometimes not necessary, but there is a lot of fear going on of medicines, like statins for cholesterol and so on, that are not so necessary as they thought before, and so on. So there are a lot of people who want to profit from others.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they want to profit from your dying process.
People want to profit if they see money very quick. Not all everyone, but a lot of one. But for tonight, positive thinking is the beginning of everything, isn't it?
Oh yes.
So
to de-tabooize.
Yes, it's good to talk about it.
That is a
very
good thing.
It's very good, and also that can give redemption. Carmela, the dog. Is she with you?
Yeah, not exactly with me. She is in her bed.
Oh, she has
sleeping.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she sleeps a lot. She's 8 years old, and 8 years old dogs, they sleep a lot.
How is she doing? And her health?
Very, very good. We are loving her so very much, Julia and I, and it is a blessing. It is a pure blessing. It has a few difficulties as well, and this is coming from her history, being 6 years in a dog shelter with 300 free running dogs on a huge premise. 300 free running dogs, and she was one of them, and she was not she could not be they were not able to give her away to people because of her her tumor on her
Yes,
back
we
was
saw
was
that.
no tumor in the end, but you know, we are thinking about, she was a dog nobody was wanting, and we were thinking during these 6 years, how often these people who worked there, will they had time to look for her or to tease her, to be kind to her. And we unfortunately um, uh, had to come to the thought that she was more or less neglected for 6 years. And now she is so very much oriented towards us humans. So she wants to be near humans so badly.
Yeah, she's so
And
sweet.
yeah, but with other dogs, it is sometimes difficult. Some she does love, and they play with one another, but others she regards as enemies.
Yeah, she has her own traumas in her past,
definitely,
and she's dealing with it because there is so much love around her nowadays.
Absolutely.
That's where.
So it's an absolute blessing. I only can recommend that for the one who can invest enough time to look for the dog, of course.
Yeah. The dogs also have their own consciousness, you know, and sometimes I believe I look at them and I look them in their eyes, and also with the cats, and I feel connection and I can communicate with them. And I'm not always, but most of the time, and I'm aware of that. Are you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the one who cannot see that they have personality.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you only have to, and this is fun, you only have to search on YouTube, for example, for the term guilty dogs.
Oh, yes.
This is so
lovely,
funny,
isn't it?
because you see, they have a self-consciousness. They know when they have done wrong, right?
Absolutely, so right, yes.
And their expressions when they, it's gorgeous.
It is, absolutely, like children, really.
Yes, totally, it's wonderful.
We will have a dog soon in the family. It's from Eva. And his name will be Charlie. And we know that he is born already, and then we need to wait a few weeks before we can cuddle him. Then he comes here.
Oh, I understand.
So it's the first time that we have a puppy, because we always had from the asylum, you know, from the shelter dogs. So it will bring a lot of joy, like children. I'm sure.
Very much so.
And
but
they keep you moving. And they keep you moving, you know?
Oh, yes, and they have to be educated also.
Oh, yes.
Puppies have to be educated, otherwise they dance on your nose, we say in Germany.
Yes, absolutely. You have experience, I believe.
Yeah, no, I always had shelter dogs as well.
Yes.
So I have no experience.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No, okay.
But I would love to, of course.
Yeah.
But that costs time. You need to have a family house at best, with a lot of people who can look for her.
You're totally right.
And so in your case, it is a little boy, Charlie.
Yeah, it's a boy, yes.
It's a boy, yeah, so cool. Great,
Yes,
great, wonderful.
Yes, very naughty, I expect.
Oh,
I
yeah.
expected. But, but Kai, talking about the different times, and we walk a lot outside, we're doing different things in this time of COVID-19. And I believe you also maybe get more walks outside in nature. Do you?
Yes and no. I mean, COVID, since the lockdown is over, we actually have to work under the COVID regulations. And, you know, we already had scheduled events, and now under COVID, we cannot bring in all the people who have booked. So what we have to do now, because we cannot send the one half home and put the other half in the seance, we have to give 2 seances in 2 consecutive evenings. And in the end, that means that every event is now doubled in time, effort. We need to invest double the time, because we cannot bring in 20 people anymore, only 10.
I understand. But they are still coming and you're still having these seances?
Oh yes, till the very strict lockdown is over. We were starting to give seances under the regulations that became more loose and loose and loose, but still we cannot give full scale seances. And so in the following, I have much less time than the original schedule was giving me, and this of course affects the dog as well.
And of course, so, your income also.
And the income is the same, but I have to invest double the time.
Double the time, yes. That's
true.
And yes, double the time. Absolutely.
So the income is half, actually.
Yes, of course. So for almost everyone, it's. But the Zoom seances, you're still continuing them?
Oh yes. We usually would have continued them the upcoming weekend, but the spirits wanted us to do something for free, so we will be giving a full healing session in English and in German. It's a powerful treatment which is actually designed by the spirits themselves, and we will be offering it that everybody who will be joining will be able to focus the energy onto themselves.
Wonderful.
And this will start this weekend. Oh no! Both sessions are on Saturday, right? Both sessions are on Saturday, right?
Wonderful. Kai, what are the differences, especially for you, because you have wonderful materializations, by example from El Moria, and I was really amazed, of course, because I told you how much I feel connected also to his energy of El Moria, and to see him now that he is coming in your seances, it's unbelievable. It's for me, he means, like I talked about the prayer that was from Piramashid Hazrat Inyat Khan. Those two, El Moria and he, are I have a connection with them from my early 25 years old, something like that.
I see.
And it feels for me so rich, so much richness in wisdom, and so much how can I say it? Pureness? No. How you call another word?
I mean, El Moria is carrying these organizing this royal energy. I mean, he's the carrier of the blue flame, and he is actually somebody who is very good in organizing and aligning the powers rightly. So your feelings are right in regards to him. I mean, we were very surprised, but in the end we can explain, of course, because the ascended masters were not necessarily integrated in our work, but they have integrated themselves.
Yes, that's what happened.
Via the connection with Olcott, who materialized, via the connection with John King. John King was regarded by Madame Blavatsky,
yes, of course,
for a short time as being the same. They blended over John King and El Moria. So here, these are mainly the connections.
Yes, they have also similarities in the way they look. I know from last week from our circle evenings by Zoom, there is one picture that he showed himself, El Moria, in his face. It's on the blog, you can see it. And he gave me always the impression, and I saw him once years ago, like Eastern man, you know, an Eastern man with dark hair. If you look on internet and you Google him, you will see him with blonde hair and blue eyes, but it's not the way that he shows himself towards me.
I think so either. Yeah, you're right. That he is not looking like a European.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No,
not at all. Right.
So I recognize exactly what you're telling and what I'm seeing and feeling, and that's he is coming forward these days. It's amazing.
Yeah. Have the images you have seen, right?
Yes. Wonderful.
From the last materialization.
Yes, it's wonderful. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Because on one, there is very, very slightly a complexion, a face visible, but only very hardly. I just tried to find it. Yeah, that does not say a lot, but there is actually something like a face visible, but. Yeah, everybody who might be interested, I don't know if this is...
I will find it and I will put it on the video, of course.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you have seen that photo that he showed himself. It's also not so easy to see, but you can see half of his face. And I
I see.
recognize very well. Immediately, I knew it was him.
Okay.
And what you say, what you told me about the materialization of King from you, yes, he also has similarities to him.
Very well, maybe. Very well, maybe.
Yes, I love it so much. It's genuine. It's so great to have these energies around you.
Yeah.
Is there a difference if you do Zoom seances? Are there new aspects that you haven't had before or that you haven't experienced before? It's one of the questions of our participants, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the Zoom seances are actually no physical seances. The Zoom seances are trance work and trance speech, if you wish so. What happened was that into this, the spirits were once or twice, I don't know, bringing in physical phenomena like the VoiceBoX.
Exactly, that's what I... Yes, and when did that happen? Can you tell me when the VoiceBox happened? With who was talking through the VoiceBox? You remember that?
Oh yes, I remember that, but it is a few months ago. How many, I cannot really say. That was in June or July or something like that. And I mean, at that day it was about, I don't even know the topic anymore. I only know that the control spirit was announcing that a doorkeeper would like to comment, and that the doorkeeper is an entity living on a planet in the Zeta Reticuli, a star system. And the spirits then in the following claim that via a spiritual channel, with the help of the VoiceBox, the original voice of the entity would become audible. And that was then actually the case. The entity was speaking in his own speech mannerism that was made audible by the VoiceBox. And this is an extremely strange sounding voice. It sounds a little bit as if you would try to speak underwater. And we actually had to listen quite long into it to find out what he was saying. So that was not an easy message delivered. It was a complex thing to decode this strange way of speech. And yeah, in the end, we had the message together. We found it. We found out what he was trying to say. And it was a very, very interesting remark or a comment about the spreading of humanoid biology over the universe. So that humanoid biology in its complexity, under the rules of this universe, can never be only existing at one place. So when it is existing on one place, like on Earth, it is a natural law or a cosmic law that this complex form of individuality starts to exist at other places in the universe as well. So basically he was trying to tell us that there are many humanoid or many humanities, if you wish so, are existing out there. And he says sometimes they have grown under very different environmental circumstances that they have developed quite different from how they look, quite different from how you humans on Earth do look, but the biology is the same. So you actually have relatives all over the cosmos. Some of them are aware of that cosmological interconnection, some of them are not aware, and some of them even are trying to make contact with one another. So that was quite interesting to learn about, because he talked about a lot of narratives we have in our human environment about aliens and about ETs and how they look like and where they do come from. And he was clearing up a lot of things here. Basically that all these narratives are coming from encounters with actual humanoids. So these are humanoids even though we thought they were Pleiadians. So they are Pleiadians, but they are humanoids as well. So they have a human origin. Their biology is very much the same like ours. The same with most of the other aliens you are encountering in narratives, because they all, most of them have 2 eyes, 2 ears, they have mostly a nose, and usually that already has decided that it is a humanoid, right? So non-humanoid species are looking very, very different than us, and we would have a hard time to somehow get around with them because they are totally strange. All their functionalities of life do work on a totally different base. We have no connections at all to them. And the reasons why we have the connections with Pleiadians and the Northern and even the reptilians, even the mantis, all these strange beings, they all have actually humanoid roots. Yeah, that was surprising and fun to listen to. This entity from Zeta Reticuli, which is a doorkeeper of ours, he's usually telling things which are very surprising, and we love to listen to him.
I know that Henny, one of the Soul Circle, had a question for you. How does it feel if he connects with you? How does it feel in your body? Is it different than your, by example, the guide Hans Bender or whatever? What do you feel? Do you feel another kind of energy field around you or in you, or does it make no difference for you?
Yeah, it does make a difference, but it is a little bit hard to describe it, because you know that during these stages I am not aware. I'm really not conscious.
Absolutely.
I'm not there and can read permanently what impressions come onto me. This is all organized by the main spirit control. So first I am switched off.
How? Oh, yes. One question also was from one of us, who said, how do you truly switch off? Because you can get in deep trance and go very far, and even spirit can talk, but how do you do the last step? Mm-hmm. That was her question.
Yeah, you definitely have to achieve a state which we call automatic speech. It is the same like automatic writing, only that you are not using the muscles of your arm and your hand, and we know that we can fully externalize these muscles, and that they can write something without our conscious participation.
Yes.
Now imagine you are refocusing this not onto the muscles of your arm, but onto the muscles of your voice box. There is a difference insofar that you are very much used to the fact that when something is coming out of that mouth, that it is you, but you are very quickly you very quickly get acquainted with the fact that it is not you. So learn how to speak automatically, and this is learned quite quickly. So usually when you start these processes, it does not take longer than maybe 7 sessions or 8 sessions. Usually this should be developed in a group, in a home circle, in a development circle.
Yes, yes.
And when you really have achieved to talk automatically, then it is actually possible not to stay aware.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because when it talks automatically, and you then integrate techniques to first to write something down, for example, meanwhile you are automatically speaking, means a spirit is speaking through you, so you can use another externalized part which is more with you, and you can write down something meanwhile the spirit is speaking. And in the next step you are trying actually to fall asleep, and that works, and that works.
I know, but it's very. They would really like to know it from you, because I believe all mediums are working differently, and you are achieving so much. So it's so interesting to hear it from you.
Absolutely.
And
I love to share. So
yes, it's great. It's wonderful.
That's fine.